Back in 2023, our family purchased a 1-acre homestead in the Bay Area, California. Our 1 acre of paradise was overgrown, dilapidated, and barren. And with 4 kids, 5 and under, we knew that it was going to take us years to get it into a state where there would be lush gardens, cute farm animals, and frankly, abundance. In our first year on our property, we focused on building much-needed infrastructure and planting the first phase of our orchard. Last year, we planted 16 trees in the ground consisting of a range of avocados, apricots, plums, pears, persimmons, and pomegranates. This year, we plan to more than double the size of our orchard by planting avocados, cherries, nectarines, an assortment of peaches, pomegranates, and mangoes. While 1 acre sounds like a lot of land, between our backyard orchard and our backyard citrus grove, we plan to have over 50 semi-standard fruit-bearing trees on our property. In order to optimize our space, we have planted our trees about 9 feet apart in rows that are about 14 feet. When it is all said and done, our orchards will take up about 15% of our total property, an investment that we think is totally worth it. Building this orchard has been a serious labor of love between planting, irrigating, mulching, and pruning. But we know that this is the first step for our growing family in living off the land, and we are so excited to see this young orchard grow over the years and eventually provide us with abundance. Hey guys, welcome back to the Secret Garden Homestead. I'm out here in the orchard and Ryan just finished planting 11 or 12 trees in the ground, which is almost double what we had planted last year. Last year we planted 16. I have another 4 or 5 trees that will be going into the ground in March, but those are more like our tropical fruit trees and it's a little bit too cold to plant those right now. So we will be planting out avocados and mangoes probably in the March-April time frame. But I just wanted to show you what he did. I'm so excited that our backyard is finally starting to transform into like a full orchard. So let me give you the panorama here. So last year we planted these 2 rows here for our 16 trees, and then this year we've planted this row of trees, and then all the way back here we planted this row of trees. So I'm going to walk you through what we planted, what we plan on planting, and this is so exciting. This is phase 2. Next year we'll probably go back a little bit further and do a couple more trees, but our orchard is pretty much done. So things are coming together on the homestead. Right here, I left a space for our Pinkerton avocado. That's where that stake is right there. That is a tropical avocado, so it needs to be a little bit warmer. We will plant that in the ground. Here in the 3rd row as well, we have a pretty mature Italian prune plum. I don't know if we're gonna keep this Italian prune plum, to be honest, but it does produce for us, and so for the time being, I am gonna keep it. To provide some symmetry to our orchard, I planted a wonderful pomegranate here, and on the other side over there, I have, I believe, a Japanese pomegranate. It's more of like a white flesh or seeded variety. This is more of that red seeded, I think they're called arrows. So we have 2 different varieties there. I have over here an Eva's Pride peach. It's a little stick in the ground there, and then a mid-pride peach here, and then followed by an Alberta peach here. I bought these trees a little more mature because I want to be able to get peaches off of them this year. Our orchard is pretty young, and at this point I'd like to be getting some fruit from them. I know they're still pretty young, but hopefully this year we get a couple off of these trees. And then I still have a Gala apple in a pot. Last year we planted a persimmon over here in our 2nd row, and it did not wake up. And I was planning on potentially taking this out and putting in a Gala apple, but this year it's kind of looking like maybe it might wake up. So I was hesitant to pull it. So for the time being, I'm going to keep the Gala apple in the pot and see if that persimmon comes up. If it doesn't, then I will plant the gala apple there. And then here I'll find something else to put in its place. And then in the final row that we planted out, I have more peaches. I have, again, an Alberta peach here, a mid-pride peach here, and an Eva's pride peach here. And then here I have, I think this is a Lapin's cherry. These cherry trees are self-fertile, which is awesome. And I believe they only need 500 chill hours, which we reach here in zone 9B. So this is perfect for our weather. And then over here I have another cherry tree. This is a Bing cherry. I bought this, but I don't know if we'll ever get fruit on it. And the reason is that the chill hours on this tree is closer to 700 hours, and I don't know if we get that cold. I think it has to be under 48 or 45 degrees for 700 hours. I'm not sure if we actually reach that, but I decided to just try it, and maybe it will acclimate to our area and we'll get cherries from it. If not, this Lapin should provide cherries for us. And then finishing off over here, I have two nectarines. They're very, very small. I should have bought them bigger. I don't know why I bought them as such sticks. I think I was just really excited during the winter and I bought them pretty inexpensively. So they're going to take forever to grow, but that's okay. So this is a Snow Queen nectarine, and it's a standard. And then over here, I have a Fantasia nectarine, also a standard tree. So that kind of finishes out our fourth row. We do plan on planting a fifth row, and probably this year. I have one more bare root tree that we haven't planted yet, and that is another Lapin's cherry that I think will go right here where this pot is. And then I have two spots right here, and one more possibly over there where that stake is. That's where our mango trees are gonna go. I'm giving them a little bit of shade. I don't know if we have the right zoning for mangoes. We're gonna try it, so those will be going in later. But for the time being, our orchard is finally starting to look done in terms of being planted. I think when it's all said and done, we are gonna roughly have 40 fruit trees in our orchard, which is gonna provide us with plenty of fruit on our homestead. The other trees that we're probably going to consider planting in phase 3, so next year, are going to be a few nut trees. So it's all really exciting. For us, getting this orchard in has been a pretty big deal. It's been a huge labor of love. I mean, we've done the whole back to Eden process on this orchard. We have irrigated underneath it so that we can run a drip line to everything. We have done our research on what varieties work the best in our area. And I've tried to prune everything the best that I can. It's going to be really exciting to see this orchard grow over the years. I mean, it's very, very immature right now, but I'm really, really excited to see as my kids grow the fruit that we get from this orchard. It was a huge investment, but totally worth it. And a first step that's now pretty much complete on our homestead, so we can start moving to some different types of projects here. This pretty much wraps up phase 2 of our orchard planting, and we appreciate you guys following along with us as we are building our homestead here in California. So we'll see you guys in the next one.